Assalamu alaikum, Antu Rahman.
Wa alaikum assalam. Mufti, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you joining us from, Antu?
I'm joining from Bangladesh, Dhaka.
Wow. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaban. This is the first time I'm having somebody on the show from Bangladesh. Doing it, yaar. You're doing it. Swagatam. Swagatam.
Shukran, shukran.
All right. So, what's going on? Talk to us, man. I'm honored, by the way. I'm honored that you've decided to join us. And
Mufti, I'm not really good at speaking English, so I'm kind of nervous because
no,
it's my
no
first time.
problem. You're doing great. You're doing great. If you want in between, you can drop some Hindi Urdu if you want, but otherwise your English is sounding it's awesome.
I'm like a big fan of Jaun Elia side.
Jaun Elia. Kya baat hai yaar. Jaun Elia is a legend.
So yesterday was his birthday.
Oh right. You're right. Oh damn, yeah. Well, may
I
Allah bless
mean,
his afterlife. Right. Because I've these last 2 weeks I've been kind of not I've been kind of out of it because I've not been so well. And I've just been in a kind of like a brain fog for the last like 10 days or something. So I'm not completely there, but you're right. Now that you mention it, it is in December. And because I did something last year for it, I remember I made a little tribute video.
yeah.
So yeah, wow. Wow, kya baat hai. What makes why do you like John Elia? What interests you about him?
Because he kind of honest with himself and not really
Mm,
care about like who's gonna say what about him. And he is very true to his with his connection with God.
wow.
Then I like his poem of his. It was दादो तहसीन का ये शोर है क्यों हम तो खुद
Mm,
से कलाम कर रहे हैं.
wow. तो खुद से कलाम कर रहे हैं. That that what is all this fuss about? He says,
Hmm.
I'm just speaking to myself
Like
or to the self.
most of the
Yeah,
people don't have that connection with themselves.
yeah.
Like they don't talk with themselves. Like they don't really know themselves.
And you know what they say is in Arabic that man arafa nafsa arafa rabba. Whosoever
Whosoever
knew
knows
himself
themselves.
truly knows God. That one of the ways to understand God is by first knowing the self, know thyself.
Most of them
And
run from themselves.
so true, yeah. It is so true. I think one of the biggest noise that a lot of people are trying to block out is the noise from the self. Yeah.
That's really when I was first in like being a practicing Muslim. So it was like very I was kind of I was gonna say it. Like I was kind of dumbed down.
Yeah.
Then I started my reason faculties was like shutting down time after time.
Hmm.
I'm like very straightforward. I'm like looking for straightforward answers, and um, I want to have control over people. Like at a small age like me, I want to have control over people like who are smaller than me. I want to like rearrange them, like do this, do that. Like if they don't like follow like me, I feel like they're wrong.
I see. Because you see, that's how it starts. It starts with this kind of. It can start. It doesn't. I hope it, but often it starts with this. Unfortunately, the self righteousness. A
Yeah,
person starts doing something good, and then this is the waswasa. You see, this is well. I'm better than that person. See, what was the purpose of this story in the Quran about the shaitan saying this? Because this is where people they act it out that you see, I'm better. This person is wrong. This person is astray. This person, if they're not on my path, if they're not on this understanding, this all is the ego. And the problem is that even though a person thinks they found God, they haven't at that stage. They've got to, like metaphorically, they've got to smash, like the story of Ibrahim, they've got to smash the idols of the ego to get through to God. Because at this point, it's just nafsi, nafs. It's just like it's all about power. It's all about I can tell you off. I'm on the haq. Why don't you pray? Why haven't you got a beard? Why hasn't this person? Why is this person using his? Why is that woman not wearing hijab? Eventually, a person realizes I was wrong all along. This journey was about me. I needed to fix this and just walk along. And I think in many ways, you said about John Elia, because he's somebody who is fed up with all of this that's going on in the world. Uh,
I listened to a interview of his friend.
mhm,
So they're asking his friend like, do you remember any incidents which was very strange to you with John Elia? So
okay,
his name was Zakir Rahman. Uh,
okay,
so he says that in the time of war, there were a Shairi program in Lahore.
okay,
So him, John Elia, the one invited was Hassan Rizvi,
okay,
who programmed this Shairi. So Zakir Rahman, John Elia, and others was there. So it was a Sharia about Mazhab.
okay,
So on the other side, the Maulana Fazlur Karim, you know
okay.
him?
No, I don't.
He was a big guy. I think he's still alive.
Okay,
So he was a very big guy that time. He took with his bodyguard all the time. So he
okay,
was there also present. So he says that we are all present there. So the Shairi program is about to start, but there is some sound problem. So
yeah.
they're saying that you all wait there in other room. We
Starting
are
over,
just
yeah. Hmm.
so they're just sitting there having some conversation. So Maulana Fazul Karim he says something. So he said that I don't remember recall what he said, but John Elia became very angry, like he really pissed off.
Okay,
So he
yeah.
so he said something like the problem I have is with me and Allah, with me and God.
Hmm.
Who you are to interfere?
Yeah,
Like you have no place to interfere.
it's
It's
true.
between me and God. So he says like if I was in the time of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I'll still be drinking. and he says
Yeah,
and he says his mother is Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, that if I have
yeah,
don't money to drink, I would I'll steal money from Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and still drink.
yeah.
And if
Yeah,
Aisha
I
radiallahu ta'ala
heard
anha,
something. I heard one of these stories. Yeah. So what he's saying to people, because he has this kind of this argument with these religious people who judge him, and he's saying that, look, because he's kind of Sayyid, so he's from the family of the Prophet, and he says that, well, if we were in their time, I would at least be part of their household. Like, it doesn't, like, who are you, like, whether I drink in front of them or not, like he's trying to say I'm from that household. And yeah, I remember that story. I have heard it actually.
no,
Yeah.
the later part was very interesting. Like the one who is saying, so he just tell this incident to his
Okay.
sorry, aunt. So his aunt says that John says like that. He said yes. So she says that don't ever invite him in our house. So he
Oh
says
wow.
okay. So he doesn't tells John about it that she said that don't
Okay,
come
don't
ever
invite
here.
him to our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one day his aunt was visiting his village once for some days.
Hmm.
So from there his aunt called John Elias' friend that come over here so fast.
Yeah.
So he was like really shocked, like why
Yeah.
suddenly. she says. So he got there, and she says, "Do you told John about him, John, what I said about him to you?" He said, "No, I didn't tell him." So she says that, "Alhamdulillah, shuk Allah Taala ka shukriya कि तुमने कुछ बताया नहीं." Uh, so he got curious, like what happened, like why
Yeah.
are you saying like. So she says that I saw a dream.
Mm-hmm.
In this dream, I was in the prophet's house. So she claimed that she has ziyarat of the
Of the
prophet
prophet.
many times.
So, okay.
So in this dream, she saw she was in the house of the prophet, and there are his wife Fatima radiallahu ta'ala, his daughter, his wife, and other were his servants were also there, and
Mm-hmm.
she was also there, part of them was talking. So in this talking, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says like uh, um, place this white garment on the bed. Place this
Mm-hmm.
white garment on the bed. So she says, like his aunt, on the dream. She
Mm-hmm.
says, "Why is there any special person coming?"
Yeah.
Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha says, "Yes, John is coming."
John Elia.
Yeah.
You know,
So
honestly, yeah, that's profound.
he said
Wow.
this story to John,
Yeah.
and John, like he says that John really cried, like
Yeah.
cried a lot.
I think, you know, people like that are often misunderstood, and they get cornered into these and put into a little pigeonhole, and people think they don't like God or they don't like religion, and it's not true really. You just see a hurt person. You know, you see someone who's been hurt by society. He's been hurt by institutionalized kind of religion, and that's why he says these poems which he says, and people think he's you know, oh, he doesn't believe in God. But he says that obviously I
No,
do believe in God. You know, I've got my own connection or my own relationship with God. But yeah, may Allah bless his afterlife. May Allah bless everybody who has ever, you know, who's
like
gone and who's
people are
contributed to
really quick to
humanity. I
judge.
mean, yeah, that's true. That's so true. But I appreciate that, Antu. Shukran, man. I mean, one, for bringing to our attention that it was his kind of anniversary. Um, there's, you know, on his anniversary there's an interesting line that he has where um, he says uh, he says he says आज का दिन um, he says आज का दिन मेरी बरसी है वाकये यानी आज के दिन मर गया था मैं. And it's an interesting notion because he, you see, none of us know. We go through the year, each and every one of us, through every day. Like today's date, you know, now it's become the 16th of December. It was the 15th. None of us know which date we're going by, which will be our death anniversary date.
Yeah.
You know, like for all we know, like that date will actually be a special day in our lives, but we'll never know it until it's over. And that date is, and he says, "Vakiye, yani aaj ke din mar gaya tha main." Yani this was the day that I died on. It's a very profound thought that kind of sends, you know, shivers down our spine. May Allah bless us to really optimally take and give in this dunya from our
And
lives.
Mufti, I wanna ask you about
Cool.
something like, can I ask?
Gigi, okay, Gigi.
So I was thinking about the verse like inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ja'ilun is a ism file. Uh,
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah,
and
some fine.
so it can be act like as like present continuous, like I'm creating something.
Yeah.
So it can't necessarily be like humans. It's like when I say that I'm making a cake, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actually making a cake. I'm like preparing my procedure while
Yeah,
making a
yeah.
cake, like
No, I
flour.
understand. As in, it's not speaking about making the human, but it's about making the Khalifa. And
Yeah,
I suppose
yeah. It could be a long process,
one way of looking
evolution.
at that, yeah, is that it's speaking more so not about it's speaking about that insan is coming at the end of something in a state
Yeah,
of something. This state is that it seals the deal for hominins and therefore is a khalifa. This state is a manifestation, it's an like it's not, it's an emergent property. So the insan is created, but the state that he is the final is a state. It's not necessarily a creation. So therefore, it would actually make more sense to say inni ja'ilun as opposed to khaliqun khalifa, as though khalifa is a kind of creation. It's not. It's saying that it's creating insan. Inni khaliqun basharan min tin. See, I'm creating a type of insan, but ja'ilun, this insan, khalifa, lima kana min qabli. You know, he will come as the final to what went before him. I think that would really make a lot of sense. Allahu a'lam. But yeah, shukran
kind
Antu.
of
It's been
interesting. Like,
awesome. Jazakallah for joining us today. Much
thank you.
appreciated. Take care. Stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.